Tonight, you're going to set your alarm for 5 hours of sleep again. Your body will obey. But tomorrow, something inside you will start to break. You'll feel it first as a fog behind your eyes, a irritation that snaps at your partner for no reason, a memory that refuses to stick. You'll blame stress. You'll blame coffee. But the real reason your brain is deteriorating has nothing to do with any of that. It starts with a discovery made inside a sleeping brain, and it changes everything you think you know about why you close your eyes every night. Your ancestors didn't sleep the way you do. They slept in 2 shifts. They drifted off when the sun dropped below the horizon, woke somewhere around midnight for an hour or 2 of quiet wakefulness, and then slept again until dawn. They didn't binge-watch videos at 11 p.m. They didn't scroll through their phones until their eyes burned. They slept when it was dark and woke when it was dark. And yet, despite that fragmented rhythm, they got more restorative sleep than you probably will tonight. The question is why? Why did evolution design us to spend a third of our entire lives unconscious? Why would a species that survived by being alert, by scanning the horizon for predators, by staying sharp enough to track prey across open savanna, risk going completely vulnerable for 8 hours every single night? The answer, it turns out, is far more violent than anyone expected. In 2013, a researcher named Maiken Nedergaard at the University of Rochester made a discovery that rewrote neuroscience. She was studying what happens inside the brain during deep sleep. She wasn't looking for anything dramatic. She just wanted to understand how the brain processes waste products while we rest. But what she found was catastrophic. She discovered that during deep sleep, the brain actually shrinks. Not metaphorically, not slightly. The space between brain cells expands by as much as 60%. And when that space opens up, a fluid called cerebrospinal fluid rushes through the brain like a tidal wave, flushing out toxins that have been building up since you woke up that morning. The most dangerous of those toxins is a protein called beta-amyloid. It's the same protein that accumulates in the brains of Alzheimer's patients, and you are producing it every single day. Your brain is generating it as a normal byproduct of firing neurons, of thinking, of remembering, of living. During the day, it sits there. It pools around your cells. It clings to your synapses. But at night, when you enter deep sleep, that tsunami of cerebrospinal fluid washes it all away. If you don't sleep deeply, that poison stays, and it accumulates. This is not theory. This is measurable. This is a physical process happening inside your skull right now, every night, whether you're aware of it or not. And most people are not aware of it at all. The modern world has engineered sleep out of human existence. Light bulbs, refrigerators, the internet, your phone. These inventions didn't just change how you work, they changed how you rest. And the consequences are not subtle. In 2006, a study published in the journal Sleep tracked over 17,000 adults and found that people who consistently slept less than 6 hours a night were 4 times more likely to catch a common cold than those who slept 7 or more. The mechanism is straightforward. During sleep, your immune system releases proteins called cytokines. Some cytokines promote sleep. Others fight infection and inflammation. When you're sleep-deprived, your body produces fewer of these protective cytokines. Your immune army goes on strike. But the immune system is only the beginning of the damage. In 2011, researchers at the University of Wisconsin-Madison conducted an experiment that should terrify anyone who skips sleep regularly. They took healthy adults and restricted their sleep to 4 hours per night for 6 consecutive nights. By the end of the week, the participants showed blood sugar levels comparable to a fully diagnosed diabetic patient. Their bodies had lost the ability to regulate glucose properly. Their insulin sensitivity had collapsed, all from chronic sleep restriction. You can wake up early and still ruin your metabolism. You can eat perfectly and still damage your body. If you are not sleeping, none of it matters. The emotional consequences are equally devastating. In a landmark study at the University of California, Berkeley researcher Matthew Walker showed participants frightening images while scanning their brains with fMRI. When the participants were well rested, their amygdala, the brain's fear center, reacted strongly but proportionally. But when the same participants were sleep-deprived, their amygdala lit up like a flare gun. It was 70% more reactive. And the connection between the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex, the region responsible for rational regulation, was significantly weakened. Your prefrontal cortex is the part of your brain that says, "Don't text your ex." It's the part that helps you stay calm in traffic. It's the voice that tells you to be patient, to think before you act, and it loses authority over you the moment you skip sleep. This is why you lose your temper over nothing after a bad night. This is why sad movies make you weep when you're exhausted. This is why a minor inconvenience feels like a personal attack. Your brain is not malfunctioning. It is functioning exactly as designed, minus the part that keeps the design from spiraling out of control. Here is the part that most people never consider. Your brain does not simply power down at night. It goes to work. While your body is still, your brain is rearranging itself. It is taking the experiences from your day, the conversation you had, the route you drove, the face you saw and forgot, and consolidating them into long-term memory. It is pruning connections you don't need and strengthening the ones that matter. It is literally rebuilding the architecture of your mind. A researcher named Robert Stickgold at Harvard Medical School demonstrated this through a simple but elegant experiment. He taught participants a difficult visual discrimination task, identifying subtle differences in shading patterns, and then had them sleep. Those who slept performed dramatically better the next day. Those who stayed awake did not. The improvement didn't come from practice. It came from sleep. Their brains had processed and consolidated the skill while they rested. You cannot outwork a broken sleep schedule. You cannot supplement your way out of it. There is no pill, no nootropic, no cold shower that replicates what your brain does between 10 at night and 7 in the morning. And yet, we treat sleep like an option, like something you fit in when there's time left over after productivity, after entertainment, after obligation. We wear sleep deprivation like a badge of honor. We brag about how little we need. We drug ourselves with caffeine to compensate for the very thing we're ignoring. The ancient humans who slept in 2 shifts understood something we've forgotten. Sleep is not a pause in life. It is the foundation of life. Every function, every hormone, every immune cell, every synaptic connection depends on it. Your heart repairs itself during sleep. Your muscles grow during sleep. Your genes regulate themselves during sleep. You are not resting when you sleep. You are maintaining. You are surviving. In 2018, a study published in the journal Science Advances found that people who slept less than 6 hours per night had a 4.5 times higher risk of death from all causes compared to those who slept 7 to 8 hours. This wasn't correlation. This wasn't lifestyle confounding. This was a direct, dose-dependent relationship between hours of sleep and mortality. The shorter you sleep, the sooner you die. Not slowly, not gradually. The data shows a cliff edge. You are one bad night away from making a decision you'll regret. You are 1 week of poor sleep away from feeling like a stranger in your own mind. You are 1 month of chronic restriction away from damage that no amount of weekend recovery can undo. So, tonight, when you reach for your phone one more time, when you tell yourself you'll sleep later, when you negotiate with yourself about just 5 more minutes, remember the tidal wave inside your skull. Remember the poison your brain is trying to wash away. Remember that every hour you sacrifice is an hour your mind spends drowning in its own waste. You are not weak for needing sleep. You are human. And your ancestors, huddled in the dark between their 2 shifts of rest, understood something you have been taught to forget. The sun goes down. You close your eyes. And while you dream, your brain saves you from yourself.